What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan, and a very happy Wednesday to all of you. It is Wednesday, April 26th, and I hope you all are doing well wherever you're at in the world at the time you find this reaction. And a welcome back to our third Oshi no Ko Wednesday. In this video, I'll be reacting to the third episode of the Oshi no Ko anime adaptation, and the title of today's episode is Manga-Based TV Drama. So, again, I'm just as hyped for this show as I've been since the very first episode. In episode 1, we had an incredible amount of revelations learning about Ai's story and that complete movie production they gave us all the way until her untimely demise and murder. And then last week, we got our reintroduction through the eyes of Aqua and Ruby as we now settle in to what this series is actually going to be about. For Ruby trying to hold to the promise that her mama gave her, on top of her being able to hold to her own promises to herself that since she was given this new life, she's going to do all the things that she was not able to do in her previous life prior to her death in the first life. And so, you know, between Ruby and Aqua, it's both encouraging and also discouraging because it's clear that there has been a little bit of such, like, they still cherish each other just as much as before, but unlike Ruby, Aqua is clouded by revenge. And it's important for us to understand with Aqua that he's had 3 failures. And I want to thank, I'm going to find who the commenter was and make sure I recognize their name, because they put it in a way that I was trying to put those words together and I just couldn't. But they put it in the simplest way for us to understand why Aqua is so hell-bent on blood at this point. He failed Ai as her doctor. He failed Ai as her fan. And he failed Ai as her child. He's failed her 3 times in a few years time frame for his previous lifetime time frame, of course. And the third was the worst. He watched her as she bled out from an injury that, while he knew how to deal with it, he couldn't because of his physical stature as a child. And he watched her as she said she loved her children. She watched her as she genuinely said from the bottom of her heart how she felt about everything and how her love for her children was absolute and was not a lie. She rubbed her bloody hand on his face as she, you know, was having her final moments with her children, and he watched as the star in life left her eyes, and of course leading to that absolutely heartbreaking visual of her lifeless body as she had left this earth. And so for Aqua, unlike Ruby, which was on the other side of the door and fortunately did not have to see just the gruesomeness of her last minutes, her last seconds of life. He's already died once, and his purpose for being here truly was to be able to be that big support for Ai. Now, again, some people, including myself, have mentioned and recognized the fact that he never called Ai Mama. We think that he still had always been in that fan state, but he had been in that fan state where he wanted to support her, admire her, and make sure that she was able to give her gift to the world in the best way that she could. He wanted to, and the best way of putting it in words, he wanted to preserve and protect that smile, and he failed. And it for him in this life now, this life without Ai means nothing. And so he had to latch on to something new, and he had to latch on to his principles, and he realized that in order to get back at someone who had now killed 2 people, both himself and Ai, and in order to ensure that his sister in this lifetime, and in this life, which of course is Ruby, is protected from the badness and the gruesomeness of this industry, he's now taken it on himself to deal with this killer at some aspect once and for all, even if that means going through his connections, you know, working behind the scenes, as we got to hear. He wants to focus more on because he feels he can be a bigger contribution, but he can also do what he needs to do by being on a more behind the scenes thing, rather than just being an actor himself. And you can't blame the guy. Again, I was upset for that brief moment in the last episode because I was like, I don't want Ruby hating you. I don't want Ruby hating you. But inside I was like, but I get why you're fucking doing this. And it sucks. It's awful. And again, her death is etched into the minds of every single person, manga readers and people who haven't read the source like myself. And it's just, you can't help but understand why he's protecting her. And it's important that we note the lyrics in the opening and ending songs. The opening song was I's story from beginning to end, all the way to her kids and to what ended up being her last moments. The ending theme, the ending song, Mephisto, which I also want to say was done by Queen Bee, and I knew I recognized it because it's the same one who did the Raven Concert anime, one that I highly enjoyed and highly recommend to all of you. It was a really good show, believe it or not, despite some of its plot issues here and there. So Queen Bee could not have chosen a better opening person and ending person for this show. This show remains a perfect show to me. And now that we have settled in, Kana is back. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Kana's personality. It's clear that she had been looking forward to being able to see Aqua again. Of course, Aqua, as we know, is doing general education in the school that him and Rui are going to be going to, and not actually joining the whole acting side. She thought that he'd given up on all that after everything that transpired, and it's clear that she genuinely was relieved from the bottom of her heart to see him. Now, a lot of you, without spoiling it, have really been hyping Kana up. For many of you, Kana is your favorite character. It looks like Kana's going to have a very big part in this third episode. I actually really do enjoy Kana, and I really recognize and acknowledge her growth. It looks like she really grew and was humbled by her experience with Aqua when they did that first kind of movie that they did together. And I look forward to seeing more of her history and her past, and of course of the other girls that have not been present so far. That have been presented, that have been visually shown, but we haven't actually gotten to talk to them so far. So I'm very impressed 2 episodes in. I am just as excited as I was before. And as of the current recording of this video, I'm happy to say, even though it is getting even closer to getting back into the second spot behind Full Metal, at this present recording, the rating on Now still remains in 9.14, still keeping Oshi no Ko in the #1 spot going into the 3rd week of its run. So before I start the video, again, I said this in my comments on video 2, but I want to verbally give another bit of recognition to a particular character that really went above and beyond to change her personality, to change her demeanor, to change who she was, and that was Miyako. Miyako had some of the greatest growth I've seen this season in a very short amount of time in this anime year, and I just love what she did. I love the fact that she got rid of her shallow, stupid little ambition that she had while she was, of course, married to our now missing original production manager, which was Ichigo, and she stepped up for these children in a really, really, really big way. She threw away her pride, she threw away what she wanted to do, and she was a mother to these 2 kids. Everyone was absolutely distraught and broken by their loss, and for her to do the things she did, we saw it again, even though she agrees with Aqua that she would prefer Ruby not involving herself with an industry that ended up wiping away one of the greatest prodigies in the idol world, in the entertainment world. She loves Ruby. She loves Ruby as her own daughter, and she wants to see her happy. And so I love the fact that they were able to settle on restarting Strawberry Productions and her being signed on as the idol to restart it. And again, a mother's love knows no bounds. I is the true mother to Ruby and Aqua. She will always be the true mother, but Miyako is also a mother to those kids. She did so much for those kids. She had to do so much growing over the decades since she was abandoned by her husband and everything that went down. And just what a legendary performance she's done so far. I'm really happy that she grew up, that she became the person she is, and I really look forward to seeing more of her as she continues to be involved in these children's lives, and especially if we're trying to help Aqua not completely go off the baton path, even though it's kind of too late for that. And I just look forward to seeing more of her on screen. The last thing I want to say is the thing that I haven't really mentioned much, and that is, do I have a suspect yet as far who the killer, who the mastermind might have actually been? And the answer right now is no. I think there's just not enough information I presently have. I know many of you have already put your theories together. Some of you even think that for Saito, our producer who has left and has been missing for 10 years, that even if he isn't the parent, he may know something about who the person actually is. Right now, obviously, because he's been missing for so long, I've seen plenty of shows and I know how this tends to go. I have not completely ruled him out as, at bare minimum, a suspect of interest. However, I do not believe he was the mastermind either. I don't have enough information to speak much more on who it could be, and I genuinely believe that the individual in question we have not visually seen yet, but as we go through the show, we'll definitely have more time to dissect this and see how things play out. So, with that said, everything is now into place. The parts are set. We are now going to be watching this story through the eyes of Aqua and Ruby, along with the other girls that are going to be joining along the way. And I think that we continue to be in for quite a wild ride to the very end of this train track. So I'm going to go ahead and get the episode pulled up. It'll be a split second for you guys. And when I return, we'll get this third video reaction started. All right, y'all, I am back and I'm ready to get this episode started. Again, the title of today's episode is Manga-Based TV Drama. Also, as an FYI, because it does appear my device is still having audio issues, I am using the side camera also for today's video, just in case there is any technology failures. So, that said, let's go ahead and get this episode started in 3, 2, 1. Hey, I get so hyped with this damn opening. And I just can't emphasize enough how much I love everybody's eyes. I know that we focus a lot on the stars of I and her 2 children, but the eyes out of all these characters is just so amazing. I love it so much. And I love Ruby so much. She really is going to have to be protected. I don't blame Aqua one damn bit for the fact that he don't want to let her have to mess with none of this. I am really interested in this girl. I mean, obviously everybody's interested in Kana, but the girl has not been. I can't wait. I can't wait to see all this. This is just gonna be wild. Like, you guys have hyped this up so much now that I just can't wait for every second of this show to air. And the fact that, again, everything is just perfect. The opening, the ending, the lyrics of the songs, the performers who are performing these songs, the story. It's just a 20 out of 10 show. It's what it is. Also, Taishi has also done a tremendous job with kind of trying to keep Aqua focused on the prize. Nandayo. Stop. Like, Lolly Senpai, stop! These facial expressions of Kana is priceless. I love it. Oh my goodness. I mean, she hasn't seen you in so long. I can't blame her. It seems she was really excited to see you. Oh, look at her eyes. She looks like she's just so happy to see you again. Whoa! Okay, yeah, I guess we can assume that she's been pretty successful since the days of the movie. Oh my goodness. Damn. I wonder how her career has been since then. And from the looks of it, maybe it hasn't been as great. And he knows he really wants to be. And Taishi knows that too, but Mama! I'm cutting carbs. I need to cut carbs too. I ain't gonna lie, I need to cut a lot of stuff. This pandemic weight ain't done me no good. Stop! Stop! Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. Damn. Yeah. If you were relying on Uber Eats, that ain't it. Okay, that's another indicator that perhaps her career hasn't been as successful since her child actor days ended. Oh, don't give her. She gonna go off this every day now. Also, I love whoever the voice actor for Kana is. I'll go a sweet today. Ah, based on a shoujo manga. Okay. The way she jumped out of that seat, yo! If they're trying to sell us on Kana this fucking episode, it is working. Are we getting? Oh shit! Well, absolutely, because she wanted to make it work. Oh wow! Damn, this man was not gonna stop. So now he's a subject, and he memorized every single person, which means he might get some answers. Oh shit! You have It is not what you're thinking at all, my girl. My man is focused on the task at hand. Oh, hell. Okay, so hair color. It's iffy. We'll see. All right. Oh, Ruby. And if only you knew the only reason he's doing this is because he found a contact, in the fucking phone. Ruby's heart is so fucking pure. And I hope that she'll be the one to kind of reel him back if he really does get out of control. This man just wants fucking revenge. Oh. He's playing a villain, you say? It matches just right with him. Same. I like this and it's only 10 seconds in. Stop. Ugh. Oh, wow. Even I could tell. Yeah. 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 No, it's just bad acting. Yeah, it's just I get that, but oh man, that was hard for me to watch. So they changed the source material and everything. Oh no. Some apparently they wiped out whole chapters. Yeah, let's not go there. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It was pretty awful. And that further confirms my thing. She must not have been getting a lot of hits. And that happens. Damn! Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Yeah, but they're probably bringing you down. But it was so forced. Yeah, but it was so forced. Like, yeah, but yeah, but that's not gonna help your career, my girl. I think we can all agree with that statement. Like a ham roast. These words that you're using. It's true. She was probably pit. Wow. Wow. Exactly. I'd be angry too. I'd probably tell y'all better stop the production altogether. But that's not good for you. Yeah. I'm with Aqua on this one. You're better. And you got humbled. Damn. And I can respect that. You had to humble yourself. You had to grow. That's perfectly. Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. But I don't want you losing your abilities too. There has to be a balance. And it looks like you're compromising a little too much. Yes, a whole disaster. Kana, you making it rough on me right now, my girl. I ain't gonna lie so far. Yeah. Oh shit. Every time his eye goes, you think it's like, okay, he might genuinely be interested in it. Nope! Eye has changed. Mm. Wow. It's just everything's fast. Fast recording, fast editing, and putting it out next week. Damn. I think this man Aqua about to destroy every person here right now. All right, so that's how we're starting things off. But at least you've learned, you've grown. It's fine. I'll let you have it. This man ain't playing no games. Okay, and since he has attached in the modeling agency, that's also probably how he was interacted, how he was involved with I. Exactly. It's almost like a damn joke, like a whole joke. Even the actions there, just you just sense it's so forced. But like they said, they've adapted. Mm-hmm. True. Oh. Yo, she admires him so much. Don't hit her like that. Damn. And that's what happens. But she became a better person from it. You learned your mistakes and you're starting from the ground up now. And I'm proud of that. Don't beat yourself too down about that. I'm kind of glad. Oh my goodness. The little facial expressions and movements that she's been doing. Oh. Oh man. This is. Oh boy. Yep. And there it is. The truth of how they feel. He's like, all right. Yep. Bullshit. You might as well. Man, a lot to unravel here, that's for sure. A lot to unravel here. And an episode almost fully focused around Kana. I really loved it. Really, really loved it. And now that he's kind of put himself back in the acting world, courtesy of Kana kind of dragging him back, I think things are really going to start ramping up from here. Also, I gotta say, I have listened to the opening even more so than the ending, even more so than I've listened to the opening now, because the lyrics of this and just listening to it, how it matches in conjunction to Aqua and Ruby's history and past, and the fact that he will throw everything away for Ruby. I tell you, again, just such a good opening and ending song for this show. Just perfectly casted. God, I don't know why this ending roughs me up so much, seeing them go back from when right before she died all the way to when they were babies. It's so rough watching that segment on me. Just a perfect conclusion of this really just sad song, really. Excellent, 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 excellent as always. Gonna make sure the device is good. I'll be right back with post thoughts. All right, guys, so a couple of thoughts just want to share with you about this episode. This episode was indeed mostly focused around Kana, and I gotta tell you, you Kana lovers, I see where you're coming from. That girl is absolutely amazing. And again, I love the fact that she's humbled herself. She has just the right amount of spunk and snappiness about her personality, but she's also humbled herself and is down to earth. She had to build herself from the ground up when she realized that her acting alone was not going to be able to make money. That her acting alone wasn't going to be able to get her to where she needed to be. And the reality of the matter in the acting world and the entertainment world in general is that the older you get, the more tossed away and forgotten you become. And when it comes to child actors, it's all the more important to remember that. We want to boost children, make them feel like they're actually top shit in what they're doing, because we want to build up that character and build up that confidence in a child when they're in their early years of growth. But in reality, when you get out of that and you get to pre-adolescence, you get to your teenager years, you learn really quickly that the world isn't as nice, that the world isn't as forgiving. And what you may have thought was a superior ability that you had actually means nothing in the grand scheme of things. And above all, if you can't communicate and network, you're not going to get to where you want to be. And I really want to put a lot of emphasis on that again, because that applies to real life circumstances also. If you don't network, if you don't humble yourself to being able to grow as a person, you will not get to the place that you need to be. You will be left behind. You could be the next Einstein. You could be the next genius. But if you treat people like shit, you end up in a situation like Kana ended up in the months and years following the time that she interacted with Aqua. For starters, she realized during the whole deal with Aqua that she had gotten... It was amazing seeing that she was just completely shown up by his natural ability to be able to just exude confidence and just the top tier acting without even needing to put in any effort, which he himself also talked about throughout this episode. And the fact that now that his body has kind of caught up with the mental state, and even though I know some of you will be like, well, no, he was 30 when 28, 29 when this started, and now he's like, we can assume 14 or 15, so now he's 45, but I get where he's coming from. Because he was a kid, things kind of probably slowed down with the whole mental growth, as if he was still in his old body, and as a result of that now, he's starting to get, he's starting to get more close to what he believes his mental age actually is. So I get where he was coming from with the statement that he made, though, and the reality is you have to put more work in now. You just can't succeed with talent alone. It's the whole package. And I really love that about the presentation of Kana through this episode. Yes, she came across in almost a way you could say is a little bit stalkerish because of the fact that she was so overly excited to see him again. But it's clear that he made a really big influence for the brief moments that they saw each other. She kept tabs on that. And then, of course, when everything with I happened and they disappeared, and they completely disappeared from sight, she was saddened by that. And so she's just really, really happy to find someone who did know her back in those days and someone that she can confide in and enjoy acting with. I really think that if they do start acting together, that he's going to bring the best out of her and that she's going to be able to start really growing as an actor again. Now, something that I agree and disagree with both sides on, and I think that that's going to be really the place that we're going to be at with this show. There's not really going to be a right or wrong because everyone is justified in their actions. She understands that because she fucked herself up so badly and she was arrogant and she wasn't cooperative and she lost out on so many different gigs and movies and other dramas that she could have been a part of that would have gotten her continued her growth because she didn't know how to be a people's person. She had to build herself back up. She had to understand, why did I lose these opportunities? Why, despite the fact my acting skills are so great, am I not getting pulled into X, Y, and Z? What do I need to do to be a better person? Guys, I cannot begin to express enough how proud of Kana I am for seeing that she went through that progression. There are adults my age and older who still have not done that, who still don't have the audacity, who still have the audacity to act like we're 5, 6, 7 and will never grow. They'll never grow. There are people I know right now, they will never grow. And it's so refreshing to see that she understood she had to humble herself, to understand that if she wants to be where she wants to be with her acting career, that she's going to have to network and build a network of trust with people. And so I really enjoyed seeing and listening to her thoughts as she's talked with him more about what happened over the 10 years since they last saw each other, why she's working for this clearly very mediocre base presentation that clearly is not using her talents the way that she knows her talents can be. And it's just, I really, really enjoy that. And honestly, I want nothing but the best for Kana. I hope that even though we know Aqua is a man on a mission right now, I do hope that he's able to be of some actual legitimate support for her and that they're able to be great friends. Now, I know that there are already people who are talking about romantic elements, but I want to be very clear. I still haven't recovered from Ai's passing. Most of us have not recovered from Ai's passing yet. And I'm not overly really thinking about romance right now. Of course, after everything is resolved, if something should develop between those two, it's very clear that the chemistry is there and that she's a really kind-hearted girl and that I think that she would be a great match for him. But that's not what the point of this story is at this time. The point of this story right now is we're trying to find Ai's killer while he's also trying to protect his sister Ruby in this life from falling down the same path that ultimately led to their mother's passing. So there's a lot of moving parts happening in this. And so I want to bring up, of course, our name that was dropped to us, Masaya. So he is a person who was in Ai's phone and apparently had interactions and dealings with her prior to the pregnancy. So anyone, especially males that may have known her prior to her pregnancy and birth of Ruby and Aqua, is automatically going to be on a suspect list. And right now, it looks like from the way he's talking, they're just on a suspect list of someone that may be able to lead to the truth. Were they the person who actually produced the child is a different story. I don't know if he's the one who actually produced the child, but I can definitely say he obviously is now a prime suspect by default because he was in the old phone, and also based on the way that he was talking about someone like Kana at the end of the episode, he's very clear that, he's just using Kana like anyone else would. This entire this entire film that they're doing right now is not actually meant to be any type of decent acting. It's just meant to get all the females all hot and bothered. And we know that. Aqua knows that. They knew that when they were watching the video back at the house, and Kana herself knows that. Of course, it was very harsh to hear him say the words that he said to her when he called out the fact that this seems like a pretty BS production. But it's you know, he's definitely given off signs so far of a person at bare minimum that, you know, he doesn't seem trustworthy. But again, there are many of sketch people who work in the entertainment industry that wouldn't actually cause any harm to anybody, but they just look at everybody as disposable. And unfortunately, Kana is disposable. She's not, you know, yes, she's very popular and they're using her for that, but they don't recognize her abilities. And I know that was, again, very upsetting to Aqua, because Kana was so excited thinking that now that she's rebuilding her brand, she's rebuilding her personality, and she's getting her acting chops back up through smaller projects so she can get back to where she was as a child actor. She thinks that she's being recognized for those abilities, and they don't give two shits about her abilities. And, you know, for someone like Aqua that now sees just how awful the entertainment industry is, in a way, I think that he might get a little protective over Kana also. So I think that Kana's return is a very welcome return. I really, really like Kana. I will say that early on. You know, you all have hyped her up, and so far, so good. I really like it. So I'm sure there's little parts here and there I'm missing, and as always, I'll touch base on those missing parts next week. But with that, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up now. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this episode and how you feel the series has been going. 3 episodes in. If you did like the video reaction, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. So I will see all of you wonderful people next Wednesday for episode 4 of Oshi no Ko. And until that time, catch you later.